Hello, everyone, and welcome to the STM update meeting for September 2016. So notice I've placed both of our group pictures here. My favorite is the one at the bottom. If you would like to access these group pictures, you can go to the TRC tab that's located on our webpage or use the URL that's located in the yellow box. So this update meeting is recorded. I expect you to listen to the entire recording, and there are some instructions at the end of the recording that will ask you to do some tasks in order to receive the 1.5 hours of credit for this update meeting. So next we have, I wanted to bring up again that one of the goals of TRC is to work with leadership skills. So we're going to work on improving our leadership skills. On the first day that we met, which was July 18th, I gave you all this information where you could go to that URL to find the 7 domains of leadership. And from that, I ask you to pick one domain that you would like to work with and create or set an improvement goal. And as you work with it throughout the year, I may ask you to revisit that, and I will ask you to revisit and maybe just report out on how you have worked towards your goal at the May meeting. So I look forward to hearing about all of that information. So one of the other goals of TRC is to use the immersion model, and this shows an immersion model of how cadre teachers are involved. So each of you would be the very top box that represents the mentor teacher who's receiving at least 100 credit hours of training, and then you go back and share with teachers who become your cadre members. And through that sharing process, TRC is able to reach a vast amount of students. So that's the goal. When I talk about or refer to cadre teachers or cadre members, those are the teachers that you're going back and sharing the information with. So first order of business is the signed mentor action plan. So you mentors who have cadre teachers are required by the grant to provide 24 hours of ongoing mentoring to other teachers who teach the same grade level on your campus. The main focus is tested grade level. So that means 8th grade science teachers. Each of you who has another 8th grade science teacher on your campus who's willing to either come to trainings with you, go to the TRC trainings on their own, or through PLCs or whatever, listen and share what you've learned so that you can get the 24 hours, then those people are the ones who need to be added to the mentor portal. This form is to be used for you to make a plan of when do you plan to actually share those professional developments, and then the schedule is at the bottom so that you can actually use it to highlight and make sure that you have dates and things like that. So I basically want this plan. I also want you to communicate this plan with a campus administrator. It can be an AP, a dean, the principal, someone who can say, yes, I understand that you are going to be sharing during PLC times or district staff development days, or however you're deciding to share that information. And that district person or campus person's signature needs to be on this form. This form is due back to me by September 9th or on or about before September 9th. Some of you, maybe about two or three people, have already submitted this to me. But let me say this, even if you do not have cadre members, I still want you to submit this to me. The other piece of information was that what we previously talked about, the leadership domain or the leadership skill that you were going to work on, should be somewhere on this form. That way you have a copy and I have a copy so I can go back and look at it. So also STMs without cadre teachers are still going to get administrator signature. You can share with them what your leadership domain is, and it communicates the PD plan of how you plan to receive your 100 hours. So it's still required for you to submit this form to me by September 9th, even if you're not going to have cadre teachers. So some of you have already filled out the mentor portal with your cadre teacher information. I want you to make sure that you visit www.thetrc.org/DC. This takes you to that mentor portal. Here is where you can add your cadre teacher information. Here is also where you will need to visit between now and September 1st. Whatever day you have, just take a snapshot of the your class count, and it's going to want it broken down by ethnicity. So you may want to take a look at it so that you can know how to break those numbers down. Add those numbers to the data center on or by the end of the day on September 1st. And it says no valid hours for the mentors will be counted if it's not entered by that point. So I'm looking for a deadline of September 1st. Please go into the trc.org/DC to both add any additional cadre teachers that you have and to put in your class counts. And that's for every class that you teach, no matter what it is. You add up all the numbers by ethnicity, and you're going to add them to the data center. If you have any other questions about that, please feel free to let me know, and I'll answer those questions for you. So next we have the mentor support document, and I gave you a couple of copies of this document, and you will also receive or have another way of accessing this document. But what this is used for is at the end of the session, any session that you attend, you should take the time to go ahead and write in the original title and whatever reflections that you have or information that you know you want to go back and share with your cadre teachers. Go ahead and write it down so that whenever you go back to the campus, and let's say it's in September, but you did this back in July or whatever, make sure that you then give a description of what you are going to share or what you're sharing, and provide the content and or texts that are being addressed, and then you have your cadre teachers to sign print their name and then sign it. And this is submitted to me as proof of attending some type of mentor sharing. Now, if these teachers come to the service center, then their agenda or their sign-in sheet will count. But this form is whenever you are providing information to cadres on your campus. This is the only time you would submit this form. But notice that I want you to go ahead during the training to fill out the little part that says original session. Then all the rest of this is going to be filled out during the time that you're sharing. It could be PLC time, department meeting time, etc. You make sure you put the date that you're sharing and the amount of time, whether it's an hour, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, hour and a half, whatever it is, please write that information. So to get it back to me, each of you have an iPad, and some of you like to use your iPad, which is good. The thing is that I cannot take photos of this form or any form. So if you're using the iPad, please download a PDF converter so that you can convert a photo to a PDF. So we have PDF Scan or Genius Scan or many others. Just go into the Apple Store and say convert photos to PDF, and you'll find a lot of different things. Or you can just do it the old-fashioned way. You can scan it and email it to me or fax it, and the number is provided right there. And go ahead, as you finish these, go ahead and start sending them to me so that I can go ahead and get them into the data center. Oh, and make sure that each person that you put down as a cadre member, that they are entered into the mentor portal so that I can tag them on those hours. So next we have our 2016-17 schedule. And first I want to address the required sessions. So the first required session was our overview meeting on July 18th, and that was then followed by the required Science Summer Institute August 1st through 5th. At this point, everyone should have received a stipend check that was paid to you for each full day that you attended. during that week-long Summer Institute. If you have not received that check, you need to go ahead and email me and let me know that information. Okay, and then for the required online meetings that you're attending right now by listening to this video, you're attending the first fall STM update meeting. We will have another update meeting in the spring, and I say spring, I believe it's going to be in January. I'll do the same type of format unless we figure out something else that works better. And last but not least, you have the TRC Science Collaboration Final Meeting, which is a required meeting. It is scheduled for May 17th and is 6 hours long. And I'll talk in a minute about the requirements for that meeting. So when it comes to the optional sessions, in order to gain your 100 hours, you have a few options. Some of them have already passed. A lot of you were able to take advantage of the BRIT Science Project Collaborative that we did in July. Some of you were able to take advantage of the Trinity River Institute also in July. For GT credit, Dr. Dodge was here on Friday, July 29th to help us learn about the Earth landscape features, and she will be returning on September 17th, which is a Saturday. This is 6 hours of GT credit that you can receive with Dr. Dodge, learning about understanding earthquakes in the Earth system. Should be really fun. Then we have Cheryl Bowden, who on October 1st, Saturday, again, will be providing a STAR Science Focus on Success for grades 6 through 8 meeting. This meeting is actually not a TRC meeting, so I will actually be paying your registration. Make sure that you are not asked to pay for this or don't pay for it, because again, it will come from the TRC grant. And by attending this, you will also learn lots of valuable information. And the last face-to-face optional session that we have is the TRC Science Project follow-up at BRIT, and that's going to be on December 8th. So this one is the only session so far that we've talked about, or okay, one of the sessions that we've talked about that is going to be during the school day. So I want to talk about what you would do during the school day as far as substitutes in just a minute. But I want to say that December 8th, Tracy is actually planning to have the meeting in a different location, I believe somewhere on the TCU campus, but I will get the confirmation and send that information to you all who are registered for that session. But remember, this is just a continuation of the TRC project collaboration that you all started this summer. So when it comes to substitute reimbursement, so if you're going to attend one of the 4 opportunities throughout this year to miss school to attend a TRC event, then I will be reimbursing the school or the district the $50 a day for each full day TRC workshop that you all attend. Now, notice that the word reimburse is bold and underlined. This means that whatever procedures you follow to get a sub and pay for a sub for your class, then that's what you do. And after you attend the meeting, notice it says after the event occurs, a substitute reimbursement form will then be mailed to a contact person for the district or campus. What I tried to do last year, and I'll try it again this year, is have the letters ready for you all to take back to your district. But if that doesn't work, we will email them or mail them. And it is okay for the administrator to sign and return the form back to us so that we can then process the payment, and then the check will then be mailed to the district, usually the central office. So this really is just for your information to be able to answer the campus administration who wants to know who's going to pay for the subs. A part of the district agreement is that we as TRC will reimburse for $50 for each day that you're out, and it's a maximum of 4 days that you would be out according to the opportunities that you have. Again, if you have any questions about this, let me know, but this is just for your information only, and you usually don't have anything to do with this part of the grant. So then we have some online opportunities, because I also wanted to be able to touch base with you and continue the learning throughout the spring, even if we weren't going to be able to see each other face to face. So we have 5 sessions that will be available online. I would like for you to utilize the formative assessment activities for a middle school Earth and Space Science book that I gave you that's published by the Dana Center. Um, as you're using that in the classroom, I want you to keep up with the student work and artifacts and pictures or videos or whatever you're using during the time that you're teaching those earth science concepts. And I want you to keep those so that during this self-paced course time, which is going to last from January 16th through April 3rd. So during this time, depending on which of the courses you're in, you can share about some of the things that you have taught or will be teaching so that we can all learn together around these earth science and space topics. So we have completed registration for the science teacher mentors to attend CAST on TRC. This means that these people submitted registration information and that they have agreed to attend CAST, get 12 hours, have TRC to pay for the registration and the hotels so that they can then turn around and count up to at least 12 hours towards TRC 100-hour requirement. So your name, all the people whose names appeared here on this list should have already received a confirmation email from STAT about your CAST registration. If you have not received a confirmation email that you're registered for CAST, you need to let me know ASAP. So for this CAST for this year, it's going to be in San Antonio, and the dates are November 10th through 12th. That is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So during this time, the expectation is that you attend and that you receive the minimum amount of hours. I have, through TRC, paid your registration. I also will be paying the hotel room and parking at the hotel for you. And for the 2 days that you miss for school, TRC will reimburse the districts for your substitutes in the amount of $50 per day for each full day on the 10th and 11th that you miss. TRC will not cover any mileage or meals, so I encourage you all to carpool together. At the La Quinta Inn at the Riverwalk, we're going to be able to access a full breakfast, so that takes care of one of your meals. But I want you to be cognizant of these are the parameters of being able to attend CAST. And you must get district or campus approval. This is because you're going to be submitting for substitutes and being out of school. So hopefully your district people already know about these plans. And if they don't, please let them know ASAP. ASAP. Okay. So here are the conference guidelines. CAST is usually a very well-attended conference, and sometimes the sessions will fill quickly. So you need to have a plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. So if a session is full, please go to another session. Also check out those general sessions and record those as your hours. You will not be able to record hours for going into the exhibit hall. So make sure that you plan accordingly, because you must earn at least 12 PD hours by attending sessions at CAST. Now, when it comes time to turn the scene, if you have not received 12 hours, I'm going to ask that you reimburse the funds for attendance. So in order to receive these hours, at least 12 and no more than 20. I think about 14, 15, somewhere maybe like the maximum people have been able to achieve. So for this, to be able to get credit, you have to take the form that's going to be in the back of the packet that will be given to you at registration. So in the back of the CAST booklet, you'll see a form where you can record the sessions that you attended on which days. And in addition to that, in that booklet is going to be a certificate of attendance. I need you to submit both forms of documentation to me on or before November 14th. Both will be included in that CAST packet received at the registration booth. And again, if you have any questions about this, you're going to have my cell phone. I'll be there, or you can, email or call me, so we'll get you through that. Next, we have that last required meeting. It is May 17th from 9 until this is required and mandatory for all science and math teacher mentors. For the science teacher mentors, some of the things that are going to take place, similar to the overview meeting, is that you're going to take a post-assessment for earth science. You're going to take a post-survey for your instructional practices. And also, I'm going to ask that you have submitted a video that will highlight the impact of TRC in your classroom. This can be done by individual, a campus, or a district together. You choose. You can work with your MTMs if you like. It's all totally up to you. So with the iPad, there are several different apps that you can use to record and create a video. You can collect pictures throughout the school year and make a iMovie out of them. You can use Animoto, Replay, Show Me, or any type of any type of app that is going to create a link that I can use to then embed into a PowerPoint. So make sure that you're able to do that. And most people are then uploading those to YouTube in order to obtain the link. Whichever one you're using, just make sure that you're able to get a link to me. And I would prefer that it's not password protected because it causes for a delay during the presentation. So here are some of the parameters around these videos. So we want you to create a presentation that represents your adventures in the collaborative that's going to be shown at the final meeting. The video time limit is approximately 1 minute. So remember who's going to be in the audience. We'll have math teacher mentors, science teacher mentors, and specific invited guests from the districts. And they will be all together to hear and see what we have accomplished throughout the year with TRC. So we would like to see student work, student voices, mentor, mentee testimonies, any of that type of thing is good. And if there's an issue with seeing students video the back of their heads or take a voice without their pictures, there's ways that you can gather that information and still keep their privacy. In addition, if you decide to work with a campus, as a campus or as a district, you need to appoint a group leader, select an app that you're going to use that creates a link for us to view, outline a plan of action, and some deadlines of how you're going to get this accomplished. Go ahead and incorporate your district or school logo, and make sure that each person, MTM or STM, who's participating has a credible part in creating the video. So you can be as creative as you would like, but remember your audience. So we want to make sure we remain professional. This link is due to me prior to the May meeting. So that means on or before May 17th. So the other requirement that I'm going to talk about again at the final meeting in May is the requirement to submit. Every STM will be required to submit STAR data at the end of the school year. And you know that most of the time, the end of the school year comes and goes and the STAR data is still not available. So that means the summer of 2017, I'm going to be emailing you so that as soon as you get your numbers of number of students that you taught, the number of students that took a STAR exam, whether it's the 5th, the 8th, or biology, the number of students who passed and the number of students who did not pass. Or you're thinking, well, I don't teach one of those. I teach 7th grade or I teach environmental systems. So if you have a non-tested grade, then you just tell me the number of students there. So this is the information that I'm going to need from each and every one of you listening to this video, and I'm going to need it during the summer of 2017 as part of the grant requirements. I just want to keep that at the forefront of your thoughts so that you know this is important and I'm going to need this information. And then another piece to the TRC, the culminating piece, is the TRC annual meeting and conference. This will occur on June 27th through 29th in Austin, Texas at the Renaissance Hotel. A select few of you in good standing with the program will have an opportunity to apply to attend and present at this conference. So the selection will be based on applications submitted and guidelines and the available funding. So what I would like to happen during this time is have some really, really rock star teachers who can represent the TRC ESC Region 11 Science Collaborative, be ready to present on some things that you've learned, and also be ready to represent us at the booth during the exhibit time. So here's a Google address that you can use. It's a Google form. If you're interested in this, please go to that link and provide information about how you would like to participate in the TRC annual meeting. So here's the fun part. I want you to make sure that you are continuing to collaborate in your tiny PLCs. We're in the first part of school, so make sure you reach out to each of your team members, check on how they're doing, remind them about this video meeting, about how they can access documents. So let me just give a shout out to each team. So I have the Cosmic Cuties, I have the SS Science, I have Holy Britches, and I think that's the right one. I have Lady Einsteins, Tex LaFleur, the Triple F, which stands for fifth grade firefighters. I have Mary Lou left us, so please reach out to Mary Lou. I have the Kerminators and L Squared and Company. So make sure, if I missed anything or if I made a mistake, let me know, but make sure that each one of you are taking care of each other and reaching out and collaborating throughout this school year in these teams. So what I have as an extension to the Summer Institute is I've created an STM Resource Center. You can access this resource center in Canvas using that URL. And it should look something like this picture. So you'll see STM Resource Center for 2016-2017, and you will then see documents that are available to you from the sessions that we've experienced so far and in the future. So there'll be things like the Perot presentation, Brit, and any documents, general STM documents and resources are available in that folder. So let's say, for instance, we had a collaboration of trying to do a text alignment to the two books that you received. That information and much more is available in this STM Resource Center. Any of the documents that you're required to submit are also available there. So anytime you ask for information, I'm going to direct you to this STM Resource Center in Canvas. So here's your task in order to receive the credit for this meeting. So it's scheduled for 1.5 credits for attending this meeting. So in order to receive that, after you view this presentation, please log onto the online classroom in Canvas using this URL. So if this is your first time, there are some descriptions in this first bullet that you will need to follow. If this is not your first time logging into Canvas, then you should be able to find this course because you're already enrolled in it. So it's the STM Resource Center. So what I want you to do with the second bullet is explore the resources available in that resource, in the folders that are located on the left or hyperlinked to that homepage. And then I want you to leave a message in the Canvas discussion area. Leave a message that you have completed the video and the STM Resource Center exploration. In this place, you can also post questions to the group, comment on each other's information, share documents, videos. This is really a resource center, a place for sharing and collaborating that we can all access. So I hope that you have enjoyed listening to this meeting. Thanks for attending. You have my name, my information, email, and phone. So please continue the learning, continue the collaborating, and please don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for attending this session.